Hi everyone, I hope all of you are doing well. I'm feeling better today, so I thought I'd do a quick video on this gorgeous orchid here. And my helper here is Astrid. She's 6 months old and she's my daughter's kitten. She came from a local shelter. Yeah, she's having fun today. It's very, very windy today, so I do apologize if you hear banging or weird noises in the background. That's just the house creaking and groaning and things banging around outside. The humidifier is also going full blast because with the wind here, it's very dry. So this is Tiger Brew Pacific Holiday. I found this one at my local Lowe's store. I went in for a couple things. Of course, you have to stop and check the orchids. They had some that just came in. I got there at the right time. This was the only Oncidium. They had some gorgeous Phalaenopsis, some beautiful peasant orchids. This one was still in the bag. They hadn't even taken it out yet, so I grabbed it. I've always wanted this one, so I'm like, oh, that's mine, thank you. When I got home, I noticed that the pot it was in, and I guess they had just recently repotted it, but the pseudobulbs that were hanging over the edge, the roots were all cut. And there's just some shriveling in the pseudobulbs, which means something's going on in there. The bark looked really good, so I thought, well, I'll give her a repot because she was ready to explode out of the pot it was in. This is the biggest one I had, and I have to say it was a miserable repot. Oh my gosh, it took about 3 hours. It still had the plug, which is not unusual. It was that kind of foamy stuff you can find in the center. A lot of nurseries don't take that out. It's still there from when it was a baby, a little seedling. Then they had put it in one of those square green pots with, oh my gosh, so much sphagnum. Just ridiculous amounts of sphagnum. And sphagnum, loose, but you can really crush it down into almost nothing. This is real loose, but they had it completely compacted and just left it like that. It still had the square shape. So I guess what they did is they just yanked it out of that pot, stuck it in another pot, put fresh bark around it, and some of the roots that were hanging off and, growing out from the pseudobulbs, they just cut them. So it's kind of like to make it look pretty. Also, to have in a bigger pot so they can charge more money. Well, yeah, that did some damage, but I think it got a repot in time. I think she'll recover. She'll be okay. There is a new growth back there, hiding back there. I worked hard to make sure that one still had plenty of roots, and it did have some infection on some of the leaves, so I cut some of the worst stuff. I also noticed that there were some leaves that were already cut. So I treated her with hydrogen peroxide. She has 2 beautiful spikes. There's a pretty frame of Astrid there, getting her stripes rearranged. So yeah, hopefully she'll be okay. It just seemed very lazy on the nursery's part. Also, to ship it, it was very wet. The bark was dry, the center was very wet. In the bag, shipped cold. Not a good idea too. So this poor thing went through some stuff, but so far it's doing okay. It is, losing some flowers. That's to be expected from all it's went through, but she's beautiful. I really, really recommend this one. Highly recommend this one. If any of you see this in a nursery or, your local hardware store anywhere, I recommend it. It's beautiful, waxy flowers, lots of color. They are fairly large, lots of personality in them. They are scented. Now, when I looked this one up, it said it's not scented, but I can tell you this one is very scented. Even to the point when the cats are around it, they will start picking up that scent. The thing is, it takes warmth. So when it's warm here in this grow room, then it releases it. If it's not warm, it won't release any scent. It's just absolutely beautiful. There is a big show coming up in May. I will have I'll do some videos on that one. I'll have some orchids in that one, and some of the members are going to have some just gloriously amazing, beautiful orchids in that show. It's going to be an Alice in Wonderland theme, so it's going to be fun. I will definitely film as much of that as I can, and even some of the orchids for sale. Some of them can be very beautiful. I do have some orchids also that I ordered. I saved up. And Seattle Orchids had a deal where if you ordered, I think it was $60 or more, you get free shipping. And as you all know, shipping is what is crazy expensive when it comes to ordering orchids. You know, you could pick some out and be like, oh, that's not bad. And then you add the shipping. It's like, oh, okay, never mind. $60 is a lot for me, but I did save up, and one of the orchids is one I've wanted for a very long time. It's going to be a big surprise. It's in spike, so hopefully it'll survive the shipping. It's en route right now. Hopefully the postal truck doesn't blow away in the wind. Yeah, and I also will have another one on the way. You know, isn't that the way, though? You know, big orchid show and sales coming up, and then all of a sudden, the orchid nurseries you like to order from have sales and deals, you know, and then you spend all the money and you're at the orchid show and you're like, oh, man. But still, you know, I think it's good, especially when you're limited on space, to order orchids you really want. At shows it can get dangerous because then you think, oh, that's pretty, oh, I want to have that one, and then you realize they may not be well suited for your grow space. So yeah, you have to be careful. But I will have videos on that, do some unboxings and some updates on a lot of these orchids in bloom, especially when the light is wanting to cooperate a lot more for me. Again, I hope all of you are doing well. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for all my new subscribers. I'm so excited. Thank you. And yeah, I hope all of you are doing okay too with this crazy spring weather. It's been wild everywhere, just wild, wild, crazy weather. All right, thank you for watching. Happy growing.